I'm Bhakti, and I'm from oikos Pune. And for this year, I am in the FutureLab team with Christoph, Nimisha, Chris, Adriana, and Anita. So here we start with the informative session on learning circles, all the 6 learning circles: that's supply chain management, energy, economics, entrepreneurship, and finance. So from the FutureLab team, we welcome you to the journey of being the learning circle managers hereafter. Um, Next slide. Yes. So oikos community is made of diverse cultures, minds, a lot of different thought processes, and where you work on different topics, which is of your interest. But we needed a focused group where you could discuss certain topics, and that's how learning circles came into play. Here, for example, if you're interested into economics, you have a group of people managing it and being a part of it, where you can discuss, learn, deepen your knowledge, and of course, your understanding in that specific topic. And what you have to know here is it's a continuous learning process. So it has no start, no end. So you continue always. And talking about in all the in all the international events, these learning circles do meet. But FutureLab is designed in a different way, and it is a meeting point or a concurrence point for all the learning circle members to see each other face to face. Before the FutureLab and after the FutureLab, you will be meeting your group participants online, or maybe on calls, or maybe through calls, or I don't know, I mean, like in a different way. But at FutureLabs, for sure, you get to meet all new faces. Each learning circle will have 2 to 3 managers. This is what we prefer, but we have seen there are one manager also who's managed the learning circle in the past. The thing that why we prefer having 2 to 3 managers is you have someone along with you to be with you on a journey, who will guide you or who will be your co-partner. In case you fumble up somewhere, there's someone to take care of it. And at the FutureLabs, we will be dividing the participants equally. So, which means the learning circle group size will be 15 participants. Which also means that the ones who have been with you before the FutureLabs not necessarily will be with you at the FutureLabs. You will have a mix of highly active members and also very new members who are just going to put their ideas and move ahead. They may not continue. So as learning circle managers, you need to set your expectations right, that you may not have participants from the start till the end, but you will continue the learning circle. Yeah, I have been the manager for entrepreneurship learning circle, and I have seen people coming in, joining in, giving their ideas, doing really good projects, and then leaving. So that's something that you need to set your expectations right, and you will have either the participants of FutureLab as learning circle group members, or the members who have already been with you at the pre-FutureLab learning circle sessions. Okay. Now, as the manager for your learning circle, you will be the prime representative. You will be the face for your learning circle. So for anything, for support, be it for moderation, be it facilitation, it's you whom we look forward to. Also, to get feedbacks in the at the designated time plans, we look up to you again. As the manager, what do you do mainly? Is you initiate and plan activities of your respective learning circles and align the same with the FutureLab team. How do I say it? Like in line with the oikos mission, where we are integrating sustainability into economics and management. That's exactly what you do here. But then here, the theme of FutureLabs this year is Walk the Talk, where you will listen to a lot of inspirational talks and then actually walk it by doing certain projects, workshops, maybe events, or implementing it in your own innovative way. So basically at FutureLabs this year 2016 Walk the Talk, you will be empowering and inspiring each other to advance your actions and then close the educational gaps. Are we all in line here?
Yep.
If you have any questions at any point, you can just ask me as well. Okay. Then the next responsibility as the manager is that you will frame a network of the alumni, the new members and the active members, or people who are interested in this subject. For example, if I say Energy Learning Circle Sham, so he will be responsible, or he will be framing the network of the participants who have been in past in the learning circle, also the ones who are interested to join. On Facebook groups, you will have a lot of other people, maybe non-oikos members as well, who are interested, and a lot of other oikos members who are not planning to be at the FutureLabs but still are interested in the topic. So you need to frame a strong network of the interested and focused group. But be assured that your expectations need to be set right here, because they may leave or they may continue. So you don't have to get disheartened there. Before the FutureLabs and after the FutureLabs, yes, you will be a leader, you will be a facilitator, you will be almost managing everything with respect to learning circle. But at the FutureLab, which is very important, is you will also be moderating it. This year, we do not have moderators separately, so it will be the learning circle managers who will be moderating the session, as well as facilitating it and acting as the leader for the group. And your journey will, what we request is, your journey should be at least until the next spring meeting 2017, so that you see a lot of changes happening, and we also see that the learning circle is growing and enhancing up next step. If you are not going to continue with us, please provide us with a replacement at the right time, where you actually have a good transition from your manager to, from you being the manager to the next person, whoever takes it up. So the transition is smooth and the learning circle doesn't fade off in any ways. So it is still continued, because it's the, with my past experience, all I can say is it is up to the learning circle manager who can keep up the learning circle all alive. So if you think you will plan to drop out anytime, then please provide us with a replacement, or at least suggest us, and then we contact, and the transition happens in a smooth way. So we don't miss, or the learning circle doesn't feel lost anywhere. Yeah? Okay. Am I going too fast? I hope I'm okay.
All good.
No, okay.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So the next, and which will be your continuous responsibility, is to update the entire FutureLab team, not the entire, maybe Christopher and me, about your progress. And we will send to you the designated dates where we will check out how is the learning circle progressing, how is it going. And if you seek any support, you need any help, you can contact us and we will be there for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now, as I said some time ago, the FutureLabs is divided into 3 parts. That's pre-FutureLabs, which is before the FutureLab, and then post-FutureLab, which is after the, and then at the FutureLab. So pre-FutureLabs, we have around 4 steps, which we have crafted in a very unique way, you can say, where you have stepwise how to go ahead as a manager. So for the first step, which is more to do with being introduced to your learning circle, the new members, the old ones, and also we know that the oikos community is not just made of just the student members, but then we have the partners, we have the alumni, we have the faculty, we have a lot of other people who would want to join the learning circle. So that's where you get introduced to all of them in the first talk. So mainly you will think about and reflect on the journey of your learning circle until now, okay? and also going ahead till spring meeting 2017. Okay, so your commitment for now, we consider it to be until the spring meeting 2017. So in the first phase, you need to think about the final goal or the output you want to achieve with this journey, or the projects that you want to come up with. Okay, so that can happen before the FutureLab as well. You can start your project, and at the FutureLab, you can strengthen it totally and then take it to a next level. And after the FutureLab, you continue the way it will. So you need to have a final goal or an output for your learning circle journey, I would say here. And also, how do you take up the projects for, I would say rather like, you only will take a step up with every progress from the pre-future labs till post-future labs. In that, if you seek any support from us, please do share it with us or tell us. And when you frame your first reflection file, you need to just send it to the team, and we will give our feedback on your concept or your ideas, your project, or how you want to take it ahead, the journey that you have planned for your learning circle, and by 22nd of June.
Okay.
Yes. The step 2. After you're done with having a clear idea of what you're going to do, or how your projects, what projects you're going to have, or how you're going to run it, you will only continue ahead, as I said. So you will link your ideas and projects to our topic, just like the oikos mission and the topic or the theme for the FutureLab Walk the Talk. You also need to get the people engaged in your project. Like some of them may, what I have seen is in the introduction session or the first 2 sessions, few members were not really active, but then it's up to you how you get them active in the learning circle. So you need to get the people engaged in your project who want to commit their time. Yes. Shouldn't be there. I'm just reading what AB has written.
Pakiti, can you read out loud? Because Ben, he's on the phone and he cannot read it, the message.
Okay, fine. Perfectly fine. Shouldn't there be some kind of transition period the learning circle manager commits to, as in not just appointing a person to take over and be done with it, but also committing to working together with the new manager to make sure he or she is fully aware of the idea of learning circle and the work done so far to avoid any kind of knowledge losses in the process? Oh, that's perfectly okay. Your question's welcome here. And as I said some time ago, when you provide us a replacement, it will be in a certain duration where the transition from the present learning circle manager to the new learning circle manager is done in a smooth way. So it depends on the duration. Now, it can be 20 days, it can be 30 days, but then the knowledge transfer needs to be done well. That's what I would say here. Adriana, if you have a say in this, please do.
It depends on who is going to be transitioned to. Maybe it's a person that is the same chapter and then it's easier. Someone that is in a completely different continent, it is different. So what is important that we really want that there is a commitment of handover and finding someone and committing to transfer the knowledge, and how and exactly the process, it will be defined according to who is the next manager or managers. And you can always count on us for any questions.
Thank you. That answers the question, baby. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So coming back to the point that I said, you will need to engage your members. As I have seen in my past experiences, few were engaged on their own, and a few, they had really good ideas, but then it's up to us how we get them engaged into the project that we finally decide, and also get the final actions done in that field. Now, how you can do that is, yes, of course, we are there for your support, but I think the right support would come up from the core team that you can have in your own learning circle. So approximately you can choose 5 positions or 5 people in your project, not necessarily 5, but if you get 4 or 3 who are really active, you can choose them, but approximately 5 is what we suggest. And they who are really active, you can start working with them by giving them certain tasks, dividing that, not taking entire thing on yourself. So you feel, so you make the participants or the core team members feel involved, and they are always committed thereafter. So, and another part of it is that the core team members who are working with the learning circle may or may not come to the future labs. It's not really necessary that they will be at the future labs, but then they are there to support you always and also learn with you. So how do I say it? So the core team members, the 5 members, can be at the future labs or not as well. Okay.
Okay.
So, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You may also include other projects into the learning circle activities. So what does this mean is, like, see all the see, I would say, like, check out for the members who are interested in the topic, how they would like to contribute. And if at all they come up with a very different project in between, in that project, you can still take it up as well. So at the step 2, you will have a real good, clear idea about how you're going ahead as well. So initially you plan what you want to do, and in the second step, you know how you're going to go ahead and with whom you're going to go ahead. So you have a core team defined there. Yeah. Next step.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I will continue with step 3, and please keep in mind the last point here: find all the members who are interested in the topic. Because now the next step would be like to share with the rest of the oikos community what your plans are and what is the overall goal behind your project. And you can do this by simply putting an update and your status quo on your chapter's website or on the website of the FutureLab team, so that everybody knows what you're going to do, and they can relate your topic and contact you to work in your team. And after some people get in contact with you, you can arrange with them some Skype meetings, use the Facebook group for the different learning circles to share ideas, and also please use Podio to exchange related documents and thoughts. And you are doing all this because you want to make your project more concrete and really know which participant plays which role in your journey and in your project. And another important point here is that so the FutureLab team, plans to send out email updates on the progress of planning the FutureLab. And it would be really great to include your updates as well, so that you and everybody of us informs the community about this progress and this journey.
Okay.
Good. And the last step, the step 4, before the FutureLab, is kind of like keep on nurturing the commitment and the knowledge of your project. Try to involve people and participants that may not be part of your learning circles yet. So really try to bring your spirit in your updates. You can start a blog or something like that. And also create certain milestones for your potential participants, which will have to be accomplished before or during the FutureLab. A good example is, like, if you like, let's say I'm the manager of the fashion learning circle, and I want to present my idea of sustainable shoes to a big company, and therefore I have to make a pitch presentation. And some of my members are really good at this. They studied marketing, and so I give this task to them. This is just an example for my son. This has to be done, let's say, until the 1st of December. So, or let's say before the FutureLab until the 15th of October. So that really gives them milestones so that they know what they're doing. Also, if you feel like you have so many great ideas and so many different thoughts in your project, you don't have to, in your journey, you don't have to just to stick to one project or one aspect. You can split up your group and let your participant work on different projects or different aspects of the project. So please, if you can do it, feel free to do it. Also, you can, and also it is good to inform the chapter presidents and the responsible EVs or the EVs in detail about your journey and your learning circles, so they can pass this information on. For example, if I'm now the manager of energy, and let's say I need somebody to plan a solar plant, I write to all the chapter presidents, and 2 days later I found someone from Lille and St. Gallen who can do this, and they are now in my team and helping me. So, for example. And also on this slide here, you can see the last deadline for you. That will be by the 5th September. Please draft your final concept of your session and all the necessary equipment you need. On the one hand, you're doing this because then you know what your session is going to be about, what your focus will be, and how you're going to move along. And on the other hand, it is very important for us, so the FutureLab team, that we know what equipment you need for a very good and successful session. Yeah. Now let's move on to the FutureLab. As most of the people will arrive on Sunday, you can schedule there a meeting with all your participants, or with other members as well. So you can have a bit of small talk, get to know each other in a not so tense atmosphere, like in the learning circles. Yeah. And also please use the breaks or the open spaces we will offer you to make some network, so that you get to know each other better, and also other projects from other learning circles or chapters, so that there's on the one hand some cross-chapter involvement, and also maybe you can find something to implement at your local level, so at your chapter level, like some recycling project which some other chapter will do, which can be easily implemented in your own, something like that. Yeah. And officially you have, like Bhakti said in the beginning, 2 sessions. The first session will be about start walking the talk. A good example how you can really start walking the talk is from last year's commit. There they divided their session into 3 parts. The first part was icebreaker. Okay, Bhakti, can you please read it? Because when I do it, everybody can see that when I read the chat, what was written on the chat?
It was me saying that I have to go now, so
Okay.
sorry and bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, I think
Masha, we're recording the session, and you can listen to the rest later on, okay?
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
So, okay, now let's continue with a good example of walking the talk. It was last year's commit session. They divided their sessions into 3 parts. The first one was icebreakers, to get to know each other, and also to give the participants certain roles which they have to accomplish during the the FutureLab. And the rest of this first session was about just how to the task, how they can finalize the task they have for the next 2 sessions. Then the second session was all about the participants taking over the sessions and present their results. And the third session was then just a feedback. So what they have done good, what they have done bad. Yeah, so it's kind of like that you have some ideas. So you can split it up and give them, your participants, some certain task. Yeah. And for the second session, we recommend that you keep working on a project and clarify the ownership of tasks and set specific deadlines for your participants so that they really know after the FutureLab what each of them will do. And also keep in mind that not every member of your learning circle will be very active. So maybe find some clear tasks for them in a certain topic they're really interested, so then they can have something to do, they can really work on it. Yeah. And after these 2 sessions, you will have the opportunity to present your thoughts, your project, your ideas during a pitch festival at the open session to the whole FutureLab community. Any questions left at the FutureLab?
No.
Okay.
All good.
Just about the commit session we did last year, because I'm not sure if it was that visible through the document I sent to you. We basically wanted people to take over their own process, kind of, which is why we tried a method where we did a little tryout thing ourselves, basically, and then we made people divide up in groups and facilitate the workshop themselves. So that was basically I think it was the third part, where they had to come up with a workshop to bring across their point of view or whatever they were discussing, and facilitate it to the rest of the group, basically having us and the other groups as an audience to participate in it. Yeah, so.
Thank you for clarifying this. So then we move on to post-FutureLab, so after the FutureLab. And so kind of like now everybody goes home to their chapters and then keep working on the projects with the team you have found during the FutureLab, and kind of please keep in mind that it should be like kind of like continue until the next FutureLab. So look at it as a 1-year horizon. And furthermore, if you're looking at the spring meeting, this would then also be much easier to make there a really good session, because if you have already planned this from the FutureLab to the spring meeting, from the spring meeting to the next FutureLab. Yeah, and please keep us updated, so the FutureLab team, about your progress, that we can also pass this information on to the next spring meeting team. Then for your support, like Bhakti said in the beginning, Bhakti and I will be responsible for 3 different learning circles. So if you have, so Bhakti will be helping entrepreneurship, supply chain, fashion, and energy, and I will be helping economics, management, and finance. So if you have any questions throughout the journey from today on, please feel free to contact. We hope we can clarify some things out and really help you to make a good journey and to make good sessions. yeah, and this was the end of the presentation. Really, thank you very much for your time and your interest in this, and please feel free if you have any questions left to ask.
About the name, I know Julia already emphasized it in the last years, the name of the management learning circle, but it would be really important to change it or add some more information to the name, because people are confused, and it's kind of not really really motivating if we have people interested in a learning circle because they think it's about a particular management approach, and after we actually tell them what it is about, they are not interested anymore. So it's misleading. The title is really misleading, and it would spare us some work to have a more accurate name. It's just really, it takes a lot of time to, you know, explain people that it's.
Julia was in our call at the FutureLab on Friday, and we already gave a task for commit to define your name. So we are waiting for you to know what name you want to be called.
The management education is not possible, the one we suggested, like
management education, it's the only one that we don't want, because all the learning circles should be about education. So then we'll define as education, everything should be education, so it's not very clarified, not very clear. That's the only one that we said, but the other ones, it's up to commit to decide what they want to.
Okay, because I thought management education is really specific, you know, compared to energy and supply chain management.
All of the everything should be, every learning circle should be about the oikos mission, and our oikos mission is all about education, and that's why we don't want to do the name education.
Management education.
Yeah, the rest can be whatever you would like to.
Okay.
Any other question?
I want to say something, because I just had the idea of being like vice manager of the energy learning circle, and I know that on the last spring meeting in Lille, Franzi from Hamburg was manager of that learning circle, and I think Sham is going to be the manager for the FutureLab. So he's not in the call right now. So do you have any ideas about existing projects that will be presented in the next FutureLab already? Because I have some ideas of projects about business models for wind energy, and I need to know if this is something interesting to you.
Sure, I think it would be very interesting if you would talk to Sean, because like you're the vice president also, you're like a co-manager. It would be wonderful if you have ideas. You should definitely be implementing and talking to him about that.
Yes.
And to add to it, Sham just messaged that he is stuck up in certain labs, so he will not be joining the call. And in line with the presentation, as we said, the manager will look up to what has happened in the past and the present and how he will take it forward. So I think you and he will have a good idea about how it was done at spring meeting once you start working on it. Yeah?
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions?
And as I'm calling from a phone, could you send me the slides, please?
Yes.
We will not only send the slides, but we're also going to send the guide and all the other documents, so you can take a look. And if you have any questions, do please approach Bakati and Christoph.
Okay, thank you. And I know that there's like a Google group for the Energy Learning Circle. And Sham tried to invite me several months ago, but I couldn't open the link and join the Google group. And finally, he sent me the link again, and there were only 2 presentations. Are there any more documents about the Energy Learning Circle instead of the Facebook and the Google group?
I believe that's the only things that it has from what they are planning right now, but definitely Sham is the best person to answer this question as well, Ben.
Yes, thank you.
AB, you don't have to actually worry, because in the first step, if you've seen, that's the informative call where you will actually get to know about how it has been working, how it is going to be now, and how you want to take it ahead. So with this, not just the working part of it, but the documents, the information, whatever stored data, whatever projects they have done in the past, you actually will get a glance of it once you start with the first step.
Yes.
Okay. And we will be there for your help. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if Prudvi, do you have any questions?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, fine, cool. So anyways, we work in the same learning circle.
Support.
Yeah. So to summarize it all, I hope we have given enough information about the learning circle, how it is, what it is, and how as managers we expect you to take it ahead, I would say. In case of any doubts, any support, please do contact us. With the mail, we will send you the presentation, the guidelines, the required documents, the designated dates when we will check out for the updates, how your learning circle is progressing, and also our contact details. So WhatsApp, Facebook, or maybe Skype, we are there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice week, everyone.
Goodbye.
Have a great evening, Indians. Bye-bye. And